right, everybody. Nice surprise today, covering on a Wednesday. It's John Selway. Welcome, everybody. How's it going? I'm here again on 343 TV, covering for Justin today. Wasn't sure what I was going to do. This was all just sort of last minute. It's been a real hustle today, to be honest, but we made it. I'm here. The chat is hopping. Let's see who's in here today. We got Pavel. Hey, Pavel is here. Nice to see you again. And I like this comment. That is a surprise, John, on Wednesday. I like surprises. I like surprises too. Many surprises in store today, apparently. Hey, Todilas, Simple Sam. Who else is in here? Silent State, welcome. John H. Kingston III, once more from Rockaway Park. Always, you haven't been first lately. Actually, you've been coming in a little bit. I don't know, a little bit later. Who else is here? Skiamakos, wrong titles. Yes, it's Techno Wednesday, but we didn't have time to make a whole new animation for the intro. I'm just coming in here subbing. That's just what I had set up. And who else is in here? Rob Lloyd. Hello, welcome. This is 343 TV, brought to you by 343 Labs. Here in New York City, also in Berlin, where we are a music production school, of course, as many of you know, and we come on here every day to do our thing and share what we like to do. We do music production courses online and in person. I do synthesis and sound design and Ableton Live. And speaking of 343 Labs and courses, we're having an incredible promotion right now. We're doing a 2-for-1 courses. So like, You know what I think the money move is to, especially if you like this show and you like Abe's show on Fridays, if you're thinking about doing a course, you could get me and Abe for the price of one, right? I think that's a pretty good deal. You get all the techno, all the electro, all the stuff. Like, I'd love it if some of you guys that are into what I'm into, if you've been thinking about signing up for a course, now's the time. So check that out. Our website links are in the description. Of course, we also have our Discord going on. We just did another sample challenge where we had all the submissions yesterday, and I think we're starting another one right away. I haven't seen if it's posted to the Discord yet, but if you want to find out more about that, definitely check that link down below. And as always, subscribe, like, all of that, notifications, all the YouTube stuff all the stuff I'm supposed to ask you to do, being here on YouTube, and so on and so forth. So, Pavel says, you must make intro for John for every day of the week. That'd be nice. That'd be some more work for our designer to pull that off. I'm sure she wouldn't mind the work. Let's see. Max Wild is in the house, and anyway. Max, you'll be into this. I have a surprise guest today. He's a very important person here at 343 Labs. I mean, he's our man on the ground. He's the guy keeping things running behind the scenes day to day. He hustles hard. We appreciate him so much. And so I just wanted to acknowledge him today on the stream. So everybody give it up for Thomas. What's up, Thomas? How you doing? Yeah, I thought it would be cool, because like you're here in the chat, people, we're asking you questions. We're saying, Thomas, post the link in the chat. And, we're just taking you for granted. So, I don't want you to think we take you for granted. I want you to know that we appreciate all the work you do. So I just want to say thank you on behalf of everyone at 343 for being such an awesome guy and helping out so much. And I'm wondering, you have your speakers up kind of loud. There's some kind of echo, some delay going on. All right, I'm going to see if we can fix that. Hold on a second. All right, let me switch scenes here. All right. Hey, we got audio now? The audio is working. It's going to be a little bit clearer. Content. This is where I've set everything up today. And there's the green screen. There's my setup. And now that we've had our fun, let's get back down to business. All right. Okay, that was a little bit of a mess. Thanks to everybody for being patient and putting up with all of that, but it was supposed to go a little bit differently. I don't know, we had a little audio problem there, but anyway, let's check in on the chat and see how you guys are following along with our messy little bit that we're doing. Yeah, no sound, no sound. Are they not fixing the sound? I think they're working on it. And yes, Simple Sam, thanks very much. Cool to see the space. That was kind of the point of that. First, what I said before, like acknowledging Thomas and all the work he does and saying thank you there, that was totally sincere. But then aside from that, I wanted to show you guys around a little bit and have that nice, it still was a good surprise, right? Even though the audio thing, right? And yes, Max, sorry that didn't go smoother. I hope you appreciated the effort. And yeah, we're getting a nice preview of the space here. So cool. What else is going on here? You Lamour, I'm play some London acid techno bangers in the meanwhile. Well, I'm not doing techno bangers today, I'm afraid, with the music. Since this was so last minute and I'm just jumping in here like, sort of unprepared. I'm basically going to continue where I left off with one of the Electro tracks I started on the stream recently. I'm going to try to flesh out the arrangement a little bit. And so, maybe we'll see how that goes, right? This is all off the cuff today. And all right, we did our best. I have plans for the setup here. I want to, assuming we can hustle and make it happen, but I want to make this whole classroom setup here kind of partially also a streaming studio, so we can have video and audio going from every room and have like switching between the cameras and things like that. So this was just like a first sort of experiment to see how we can do things here. All right. And yes, we're having fun. I agree. Thank you very much, Ulamore. I'm definitely having fun. I'm a little bit spazzy though, because like I haven't had lunch yet, and I'm like, all right. Enough with the yakking. Let's settle down, take a deep breath. And yes, JH says, Electro, let's go. That's exactly what we're going to do. So let's move over to Ableton Live and see or hear where I left off. This is where I was last time I was on. Right, so I was kind of combining the acoustic sounds, it's mostly with the percussion, together with the electro kind of sounds to give it a different feel. Not exactly a breakbeat feel, but somewhere in there, right? Got the nice big 808 boom going on. Got some more 808 drums coming in. Got my sort of semi-randomly found vocal sample. which is a little tongue-in-cheek. It's a little weird in a good way. Got some of the percussion going on. And the randomly modulating loop of one of those snaps or rim shots, something like that. And we've got the ominous dark electro bass stab. That definitely makes it more electro. That's the evil robots are coming kind of vibe. There's a variation of that, a higher note. And then I have another part I'm still kind of on the fence about, but we'll see whether it works in the arrangement. Kind of metallic, spacey hits. I'm cool with that. I think it fits. All right, and then there's a couple of. This is where I was experimenting. I was trying out some new plugins. I was meaning to work on this a little bit more, adding some more parts before I get into arranging, but that's all right. Rob Lloyd says it's not the boom, boom, boom clap electro I'm used to and love, but it's tight though. I'm curious if you got like an artist or a track that you're thinking of that's more of the electro vibe that you're imagining. But yeah, I'm curious to know what that would be, because electro as a genre is very wide, and of course there's also always electro house and other genres kind of combined with electro influences. But yeah, DJ Seinfeld, that's a good one. Yeah, DJ Seinfeld's pretty good. All right, so let's see. We've got this acoustic snare, which sounds like a sample, but as we saw last time, it's a physically modeled synthetic snare, so it sounds very realistic. And I'm using it as some kind of offbeat, syncopated, metallic percussion in the background. So that's a maybe. It could work. And then I don't have a MIDI. We set this up in such a rush today. I don't have a MIDI keyboard controller today. I'm only able to play keys on the computer keys, but I can play this a little bit. So I was thinking about doing kind of a moody, dark, spacey melody or pad or something as a contrast, like in a break or something. It needs to fit with this though. See if I can come up with something. Make it a bar loop or something. That F sounds nice. It's a little too sad though. I feel like that sound maybe it needs to be replaced. So I'm gonna hold off on that. I really want to start laying out the framework of an arrangement for this, and then we'll see where I need to fill things in. All right, so answering the question about artists that I was curious about. Let's see, what are we talking about? We've got DJ Godfather, Ghetto Tech for sure. I'm definitely into that sound. A little more stripped down beats and bass and a vocal sample here and there. Saw, Brainwave, not familiar with that. Bass Nectar's great, but I would say, yeah, his stuff, some of it is informed by electro for sure, but he's gone in a kind of more breaky or dubstep or other related genres. I would say it's like it's a heavier sound for sure. Crafty Cuts, kind of heard that before, still a little bit different than I'm thinking. And Miss Kitten for sure. She's definitely, like when she does stuff with the Hacker, that's definitely in the electro world. And And I like this, Nikola Milanovic. Well, this gave me a different impression about 343 Labs. I like this. I'm following 343 from now on. I'm very glad that we got you to join in. That's excellent. Thanks for that. So yeah, I would say about 343 Labs, it's kind of we have a wide variety of music that we cover, and everything from more popular genres to more underground genres and everything in between. And, I'm into techno and electro. Abe is definitely techno and house, and all of the above, right? He's a very talented, multifaceted producer. And so, yeah, we definitely cover a lot of ground in terms of genre, right? So thanks. I'm glad you're enjoying what we're doing today. Isaac Reynaldo says, make it spookier. Well, that's kind of what I'm trying to do. I'm a little bit slowed down by the fact that I don't have a MIDI keyboard controller. I don't find it comfortable to play what I want using the computer keyboard or drawing it in this circumstance. It just kind of depends, but we'll make do. All right. We'll make do with what we've got. And yes, hey, Andrew Duke, the hacker, Anthony Rother, of course. And we've been very fortunate to have Anthony Rother join in every now and then in the chat. So it's always nice when we do an electro show and we have him hanging around. And actually other artists have joined in too. So anyway, welcome back, Andrew. Haven't seen you in a little while. Andrew and I are acquainted from many years ago, back to the 90s. So he knows what's up. And let's see. Thanks, Will Joseph. It is your Techno Saturdays that made me subscribe. Yes, I appreciate that. And Michael Black says, I don't want to get scared though. I mean, it is Halloween's coming up, so we can get a little bit spooky, right? And cool. Let's get back to some music. I have one more part I was playing with, which is just another percussion thing. This is kind of a throwaway for me. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. I don't really know if I need an extra hi-hat, but it could come in handy as a little layer for variation every now and then. All right, so now that I've got these parts, okay, I'm not sure about the pad or the melody, but there's some variations too. That's the main groove right there, and then I have another beat which I might use as a B section, as an alternating section. So I've got this, which changes the feel up. More 808 boom. And it's kind of doing something pseudo polyrhythmic. It sounds good by itself. I'm not sure how I feel about it going from this feel to this one. Actually, you know what? It kind of works. It skips. It kind of jumps. It changes the flow a little bit. So it would have to, if I'm thinking about this as a dance floor arrangement, it's going to have to happen at the right moment. JH asks, do you ever use the Groove Pool? I think you mean like Live's Groove Engine, or for Electro. I actually don't use the grooves in Live that much at all. Mostly when I want to make beats go off the grid, I play it that way, or I do it manually. Like I'll go in and shift notes earlier or later in time. But that said, if I wanted to do some electro and I wanted everything to like swing or shuffle, then I might just do it. It's easier to do it with a groove than it is to manually shuffle every other note. So yeah, usually I do it myself. All right, and then Karim vocals. This needs pitched spoken words to add darkness. Perfect for electro. I thought about that too. I don't have any lyric ideas right now. Sometimes I set the vocoder up and play around a little bit. But I will keep that in mind. That is definitely something. That is a good suggestion for this style. And one last comment here. Yulamore, last weekend I finally dipped my fingers into Granulator 2, and it is just gorgeous. I love granular synthesis. Definitely into that. I should do, maybe one of these days I'll do another granular kind of sound design episode. All right. So these are the different parts I've got. And I need to decide if I'm going to use the alternate beats. All right. All right, let's crowdsource this. Let's do this together. So tell me, anybody in the chat, you've heard the parts. Where should we start? Should we start with synths and bring the drums in? Should we start with drums and bring the synths in? What would you do if this was your track after hearing these parts? Give me some ideas. And let's listen a little bit while we think about it. Oops. Sorry, I don't want that synth in there yet. Some pew-pew lasers. Somebody on Twitch, Discord, 420MLP. We could do that. Actually, some of the Synthsonics sounds are kind of like that. They're like, do-do-do-do. I could throw those in there. All right, haven't gotten any suggestions yet on arranging, so I am just going to start. Now, when I first came up with this idea for this track, the thing that I started with was that, pretty much. Just that snap, that trigger zap sound from the 808. The effects are a little bit heavy. Let's back off those to start with. I can bring that up higher later on. There we go. Oh, that's another thing. I added this pitch hack effect. It's doing these repeated, glitchy kind of delays that changes the rhythm a little bit. That's something I can also bring in. All right, so let's start. I'm just going to start throwing stuff in and see what happens. How about that hi-hat? All right, I'm gonna bring in that weird vocal and the 808 boom. Yeah. I feel like it needs something to happen right there. So maybe that should come in with the full beat. I don't know. Remember, we're gonna just throw stuff in there and then go back and fix it. Yeah. Maybe we should go ahead and bring in the acoustic percussion, and I'm gonna do that along with the bass. So weird with the heavy evil bass and the kind of nerdy yet sounding Once the hi-hat and the snare come in, it comes together. I'm not even sure where the downbeat is. Doesn't matter. I'm gonna get rid of the Maybe it shouldn't be in there as often as it is. I'm not sure if that's the right place for that little snare drum to come in, but that's a better spot. I moved it over. There's that variation. I kind of like it rolling like this, just keeping it simple. I'm gonna drop the drums out and see what happens. That works. Also need to get rid of that snare. This could be the spot where I do the spooky or something like that. Something in here. Alright, I know it's rough now, but this is how I was thinking of breaking it down. Something spacey and weird. And then when the beats come back, doing the new variation with more sub in the 808. It could work. The timing needs to be right. In fact, this says beat repeat and you turn to Aphex Twin. Yeah, that kind of glitchiness definitely. Actually, there's the new Max for Live pack that we just were talking about last time. Who mentioned that? I'm totally spacing on who made it. It's all crazy glitch plugins. Okay, so you've heard it. I've recorded some stuff. Hopefully it's working out all right. We're halfway through today. I'm going to give myself a little break here and we'll just hang out and talk for a couple of minutes. As you saw, if you joined us early on, we had a little fun attempt at a bit with Thomas and showing you around the school here at our new location in New York on 23rd Street, but right by 6th Avenue. I guess this would be Chelsea, you could say. It's the top of Chelsea. Technical issues aside, I think that was a lot of fun and a nice way to sort of introduce some of you to the reality behind the screen, behind the curtain here, and seeing what it's like when we walk around in this new space that we've got, which is, it's really nice. We're having events here. We're doing Ableton Live user group. We have workshops. I teach a class here on Sundays, synthesis and sound design. We do online courses, of course, as well. I'm starting one very soon, hopefully online. It's going to be a weekday evening. And so if you're interested to know more about that, check out the links in the description below. As mentioned earlier, we are having a 2-for-1 course, 2 courses for the price of one sale right now. So, you could sign up for my course and choose another course, and then you've got, twice the access for the price of one. So if you've been thinking about that, definitely check that out. And I forgot to ask what our giveaway is this week. Did we get that? I mean, hey, Thomas, since you're over there in the other room, what's the giveaway today? He's going to double check. So while he checks that out, let me go back and look at the suggestions here for the arrangement. I can't guarantee I'm going to get to all of these today, but I do want to take note of your ideas because I think it's fun that we can think about this together and collaborate and, share how we might approach things. It's funny. I'm at a different desk today and it's up higher and I'm leaning on my elbow and I keep watching my hand flopping around. I'm like, I don't do this. What am I doing? It's like this disembodied hand next to me. Let me put my hand away. Let's see. All right. Kareem says drums first is easy to do. Would like to see you do a synth only style intro and dropping drums later because that's what I struggle with. All right. Actually, we could try that. I don't have to stick with what I just recorded. We could go ahead and figure out how do you do an intro and then bring the drums in. And timing is everything for sure. And also which parts. It'd be easier if I had some more synth parts to play with, but we'll give it a shot. All right. So that's something we can do today. Okay. It's simple, Sam. I know you're being a smartass a little bit, but start by muting the gyro. What gyro? Are you talking about the fast zappy percussion? And then Rob Lloyd suggests starting with some automation and automating the effects. I'm definitely going to, sometimes I start, if I have an instrument that already has some parameters that I want to play with, I'll map it out and start with that. I'll record it in real time. This time I don't. Also, as I mentioned, no MIDI controller yet. So that's a little bit harder to do right now. I'm I'm just hearing the giveaway today is a Sound Toys plugin. Thanks to Sound Toys for sponsoring our giveaway this week. It is Crystallizer. Now that's like a pitch shifting delay, right? That's like with modulation. That's a really cool creative plugin. I don't know. I have it in here somewhere, I think. Maybe we can throw it on something and you guys can hear what it does. Let's see. What other suggestions do we have? Build it one element at a time. That's what Michael Black says. And that's kind of what I did. I like started with one and then I added another thing and then I added another thing and then I added another thing. But then I took a bunch of things away at some point. So, but you're right. That is definitely a way. Okay, add the metallic percussion. Definitely. Simple Sam, good idea. Thanks, Michael Black. Already sounding cool. I appreciate that. Instantly moving, says Mozdog. The hi-hat and snare make it swing a little. Yeah, that's they could keep it ties the groove together, I would say, once the hi-hat and snare come in. And then we had our comment from Nicola earlier about sounding like Aphex Twin, but like randomizing the breakbeat. All right, that's something to think about with Electro and glitching and chopping the drums. You kind of, that's where Electro meets IDM, right? Like, you know, if we want to start sounding more like Aphex Twin, if I want to, I would say it's really hard to keep the dance floor groove if the drums are constantly changing all the time. And it does depend on genre. Like if you're doing drum and bass, obviously that's part of the style. Electro, it can work. I would definitely think about doing some fills and variations on the drums from time to time. So that is a good idea, but I don't want to go too glitchy. I like the rolling, continuous hypnotic groove as well, because that's really, I feel like that keeps the dance floor going more, and then you want to only interrupt that with changes at the right moments. Let's see what else is going on here. Yolamore says I would make a breakdown. Yep. That's cool. Andrew Dukes suggests spectral blur. I mean, that's a nice effect. Could definitely bring that in. Now here's this is a good question about the vocal sample. Where did that go? The vocal sample sounded like it was needed to be transposed. I'll be honest. Yeah, here it is. Does that vocal sample need to go up or down one semitone, or are my ears just rotten from the hangover today? So I was thinking about that. I kind of like that it's out of tune a little bit. I kind of wanted it to be a little weird and nerdy sounding on purpose. But let's try that. That's a detail. That's a small detail that matters because it can make it go from sounding really awesome to sounding really annoying. It's like a fine line, like in a small space. All right, so I want to check that out. Let's go back. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to undo all of this arrangement business and let's listen to that. We'll get the beat going. And we'll get the bass. So we're establishing a key. I mean, we're pretty much in like A sharp minor. And then the yeah comes in and it's going to sound too high, probably. Actually, the way I had it sequenced before, I don't know if you guys noticed, but I'm playing around with where the downbeat is. You'd think when the bass comes in that's the first beat of the first bar, but it's actually, I have it offset. So there's the 808 boom on the first beat and then the bass comes in later. It's messing. This is actually an arrangement challenge to figure out where the pocket is. When I arrange electro, I like to think about pockets where this sound happens and then this sound happens, and they kind of create a counterpoint where they're talking to each other. There's not too many sounds layered at the same time. You're hearing kind of a sequence of melodic or sonic elements over the beats, and they're happening one after the other. So we have the yeah on top of the kick drum, but then the bass comes in between those. Let's try and transpose down by semitone. That works too. It's still a little weird. Maybe I could even change that in the track. Maybe sometimes it could be higher. It also might be in between. It might be out of tune. It might not be a semitone. I'm going to go up a few cents. Let's go back up a semitone, but it's sharper now. Yeah, maybe that helps. Maybe it was just a little bit out of tune. All right, you know what? I feel like the pad thing was throwing me off. I'm going to play around a little bit with that. I kind of like it just the two notes going up and down. I want it to be really spooky. Kind of like slow motion. Overlapping with the delays. All right, so I think I'm settling on something. I think I've got... Oops. It's really hard to play on the computer keyboard. All right, so I've got F sharp, G sharp, B, A sharp. This is a weird key I picked. I'm going to record that in. All right, that's going to work somehow in the arrangement. Okay. Probably these last four. Actually, I don't mind it kind of not repeating all the time, just having it doing that phrase and then floating away. Let's play with the sound a little bit. I know we're getting back into composition and sound design now rather than arranging, but I have to say there's nothing like starting an arrangement to make you realize what you're missing and what you need to add in order to really flesh the track out. And I actually do use that as a tool. I will deliberately start arranging something before I know I'm ready, just to make it go in the direction that I want it to go in, and then say, okay, I need a pad, I need a lead sound, I need a vocal sample, I need a bass line variation, I need to glitch the drums out. All of these suggestions that you guys made also, those are the kinds of things that can come up more easily when you start to make a framework for yourself with arranging. Cool. You guys are having a nice conversation in the chat. talking about all sorts of things. Chelsea Hotel, creative extensions for Max for Live. People are nice in the Netherlands. 1950. Oh, I think there should be a breakdown and like a 1950 radio broadcast style vocal sample talking about the Battle of LA or something. All right, that's very specific, kind of / non-specific at the same time. But I need to do some sample mining to find something like that. And Rob Lloyd is talking about your Full Sail and no Ableton classes in Full Sail. They use Logic, right? Isn't that kind of the main DAW for music production at Full Sail? But it'd be great. Come join us at 343 Labs. Now's the time. 2-for-1 special. Let's go. And cool. Let's scroll down a little bit more. Decatron suggests early 90s house string instead. Maybe just a simple string sound should be good. I'll think about that. Something sharper and brighter could be cool. All right. What else is going on here? Simple Sam says, I always put in a kick drum pattern and start arranging that. I mean, if I was making banging techno, for sure, starting with the kick is a really good idea. And of course, if I want this to be more of a DJ tool, I just want it to be tracky and based around the groove, and the other stuff is just kind of icing on top. Starting with the beats right away would be a good way to go. That said, I know earlier on I was going to try and start this arrangement out with the synths and the other sounds and then bring the beats in. Let's see how that works. All right, so not the none of the percussion. What synths do we have? All right, I have this lead line / pad. I need to work on the sound a little bit to get it maybe a little more interesting, but I'm going to leave it for now. So we have that, and we have this. I mean, this could be, if I want to start it out, this is totally setting the tone to be dark and mysterious. Let's give it a shot. And this time, instead of doing it in real time, let's build it up one block at a time. I'm going to start bringing tracks into the arrangement view. And we're going to build it out visually. Of course, when you drag your clips into the arrangement view, make sure you're dragging it onto the right track. That definitely says something. Having that big bass hit all by itself. I feel like I already want to have something happen. All right, now one thing I remember I was talking earlier about how I wanted to make it so the downbeat is not in an obvious place. Putting the bass in first like this is definitely telling you, it's making you feel like this is the beginning of the phrase, right? And when I bring in the drums, it's going to maybe sound different. So I have to think about that for a second. All right, let's test my theory. I'm going to bring in the big 808 bass and the zap to the wrong track. That's a happy accident, though. That reminds me of this. Actually, is something that happened very early on when I started making techno. I was working with Oliver Chesler on our Disintegrator records, and one of the first tracks we ever did, he was using like KCS sequencer on Amiga. And it was all MIDI controlling. We had an S550 sampler, I think that's what it was, and I remember we were arranging tracks in MIDI, and we would take on purpose. We would take MIDI from one track and copy it onto another sound and see what would happen. And we came up with crazy variations on beats that way. So that's actually a fun thing. You could try. That's an arrangement technique you could try. Is take one part and play it on another instrument that it wasn't intended for. I mean, that isn't what I meant to do, but it's kind of cool in a way. It sounds like some bells are ringing like fast. Like someone's like hitting a big, huge bell with a mallet really fast. All right, but let's make sure that goes on the right track. That's going to be all the way up here on the top. All right, from the top. I love how ominous that is all by itself. That works. All right. More needs to happen. I need to go up a bigger level of energy there. So, all right, we dropped in the acoustic, the boot stomping, right? So maybe it should just come in like that. Why don't we go ahead and go full on with the hi-hats and the snare right there. Bass can keep going. So it's funny, arranging like this, you're gonna come up with small changes and variations more quickly than you would if you're just letting the loops play, I think. Because right there, I extended a couple of parts out and the beats dropped out while it was playing. I thought, oh, that would be cool to just have like a few beats or a bar where the drums drop out and then I fill in that space with another element. So let's do that. Maybe it's a little too soon, but you can see what I'm getting at. But I feel like something needs to happen in there to fill in that little space that I opened up. There's this. That little snare fill could come in right there. Let's try it. And I think I want to shift it over. I don't want it to happen exactly on those beats. Nope. And then another yeah right there. And then we'll transpose it down. Maybe I'll bring in that second hi-hat right there after that little fill. I like that. Not sure if I'm going to let it play that long, though. Right, so I just made a break by accident. I didn't really intend to drop the beats out for a long time at first, right there. It's only barely 2 minutes. It's less than 2 minutes. But already, I feel like a track like this at this tempo doesn't need to be a super long one anyway. I think like 5 minutes is probably a good goal. And then, so having a couple of minutes and then a break and then having a change, like a contrasting section for another couple of minutes, and then I can go back to how I started. That's going to end up being about 5 minutes, maybe 6, depending on how long I stretch things out. All right. I'm going to listen to this again and see if I still like what I've done. Obviously, there is a clip playing that shouldn't be. Let's go back to range. I realize I have that other percussion part I forgot about. I could bring that in somewhere where I need something. And I think I might introduce the bright high metallic sound earlier and then take it away. Let's try it here. But probably earlier. I'm starting to hate that yeah sample. I'll be honest. I love it, but I also think it's really nerdy and dorky, and I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it. All right, I like that little change right there, but I think it happens too soon. That should be coming in sooner. Maybe this should stop. All right. How are we doing? It's already 1:55. This whole process is going to take me a lot longer than the time I have left. I'm obviously not going to finish the track. This isn't an against the clock episode where I have to come up with a whole track in 10 minutes or something like that. I like to take my time and do it right. And honestly, like doing a live stream and paying attention to the chat and keeping things interesting sort of takes your brain out of the space that you need to be in to really to be focused on getting an arrangement really well. And Rob, yeah, I'm with you. Rob Lloyd says that yeah is getting cornier the more I hear it. What I'm thinking is the dark, ominous direction with the pads and the bass it's too much of a contrast. My thought is I'm going to eventually maybe do two versions of this. One that's just more kind of techno bass, kind of ghetto tech, just the beats rolling, and maybe do a funkier, faster bass line, and then do the yeah, and have it be more upbeat, a little bit silly, more like a dance floor Tool. And then I can do another version where it's the dark sci-fi robots are coming to get you kind of vibe, and not use the yeah, or maybe somehow change it so it doesn't sound as corny. So yeah, I feel like initially when I first heard that sample, it was just kind of a knee-jerk reaction to like, oh, that's funny, I'm going to try it. But after repeated listenings over 2 live streams, I'm like, well, I don't know. Cool. And I agree exactly what we're just talking about now. Eulemore says you're using the vocal too much. It should just highlight a transition or something instead of being part of the group. So yeah, I feel like it would be less corny also if we de-emphasize it. I agree completely. And when I come on the live stream here, I'm not promising to make all the perfect choices every time. This is a process, right? We all go through this. We try something, it works, it doesn't work. If it doesn't work, we don't do it and we move on to the next thing. So with that said, I'm actually just going to mute that track and I'm going to listen to this one more time and think about how I want this to progress. And then we'll sign off and we'll say goodbye after we go through this again. And I'll try to make a couple of tweaks before we're out of here. Need something there, right? Now that I don't have the yeah, maybe we just use one yeah and then not repeat it. Wait, let's try that again. I'm also not sure about the timing of those, the metallic high sound there. Let me try it here. One more time from the beginning. Sorry, I had one other little idea. I'm gonna put in one boom at the very beginning, so we know that's the start. I also feel like I could add in some ambient background noise, voices, weird stuff. A little bit better on the timing of those metallic sounds. All right, and we're gonna leave in one yeah at the beginning. Yeah. This break's probably not gonna work the same way. It's okay. It's surprising. I'm on the fence about that one. I like the suggestion for binary algorithms. Man, you need to add some bleeps with short delay to this, maybe ping pong echo too. So I think I know what you're getting at. Like a fast sequence on top at a higher frequency. I remember this is something I thought about doing last time and I didn't get to because I was trying out some new plugins, was adding a 303, like an acidy kind of element to this. Let that be, it's 2 o'clock, but I'm gonna do this. Let's let this be the last thing. Let's find ABL, Audio Realism Baseline, ABL3 is the 303 emulator that I have. Let's see if we can't get some kind of fast 16th note energetic pattern going on here. And all right, what key do we say we were in? A sharp. All right, so I'm going to make the root. I love using the randomizer in ABL3. It's really good. So we want to be A sharp as our root, right? So that's going to make, over here on the left, the scale is actually going to be starting on A sharp instead of C. I'm going to have it not transposed down too much. And I'm going to change the scale to like a... I don't know. I'm trying to think in my head what the semitones are, which scale this is. So that's a whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. That's all I want. All right, it's going to limit it just to notes that I know we're going to be in key with the bass. Yes, bleepy, like percussive. Maybe even go up an octave. I mean, I hit one button and it sounded awesome. I could use that. It's too loud. Sorry. Do the delay thing. I liked your suggestion, binary algorithms. Make it just on the highs so we hear like the sparkly high notes. A little bit of Haas effect, widening out left and right. Ah, it's so trippy. I think we have a winner. That was what this was missing. I realized it's kind of taking it back into an Anthony Rother territory, isn't it? But I really like how that high, fast sequence sounds, contrasting the bass and the fast drum beat. Totally fits in right there. Okay, so I didn't exactly fully arrange something today, but we talked about arranging electro in the context of this track that I'm working on. We had our fun at the beginning with Thomas. Sorry again for the audio issue. It kind of ruined the joke or the surprise, as it were. Thanks for going along for the ride with me today on this surprise last-minute scramble. It was fun. Nice chat. Nice suggestions from you guys. You're thinking the right way about your arranging, so that's really good. Hopefully, you all were able to learn from each other. That's one thing I like about asking the chat for suggestions and to interact a little bit, is because we all benefit. So nice. And one last plug for we have our two courses for one sale with both in person and online, I believe. And check out what we have to offer. Our links are down below. Join our Discord if you haven't before. I don't know if we did we. Yeah, we talked about the giveaway again. It's Crystallizer. So you've got for the rest of the week to enter. I will announce on Saturday who the winner is at the end of the show. So thanks once more. Thanks again to Thomas for being a good sport and helping out here at 343 Labs. He is an indispensable part of the team. That's all for now. And adios.